Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today I'm going over the top 16 decks from the European Open Championships that happened last weekend. I almost didn't do this, and I know this is kind of late, all considering, but the information was really scarce, and I really just wanted to make a big database like I did last time for the PPG game event, so Atlantic City. So I've gotten pretty much everyone. There are 4 people I don't have their deck list for right now. Hopefully, just making this video, people will contact me afterwards, and I'll update this sheet. But until then, I do know what leader they're running, and it was 2 Frieza swap and 2 Janemba Mill decks. So not there's probably not too much variety in those ones. Probably 4 of the safer decks to not have profiles for, but still would be really great to do that. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to My Wife Hates Games, their YouTube channel. They did like most of these. They did like what, 12 deck list interviews and stuff. So please, I'm going to put a link in the description, but please check them out, subscribe to them. Really great. I would not be able to make this video or this spreadsheet without all of their information. So thank you so much. They had player interviews with 12 of the players and their deck lists, and so I was able to pretty much transcribe the videos, get the entire deck and side deck, and then put them all in DBS decks, so you guys can all look through all these without having to watch the entire video in case, and just it makes it really easy to compare and contrast all that. So anyways, let's go into real quick. I want to do like a little leader breakdown. So the top 32, I do have the leaders for that. Janemba Mill was by far the biggest, but for a sense of variety, there was a huge amount. There are what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, eight different leaders, which is really cool. There are what, 7 Brolys, 5 Red Frieza, 3 Pan, 3 Shenron, a Universe 7 Frieza, a Vegeta baby, and a starter deck Gogeta that I think they lost in their first round of top 32, but the Vegeta baby did really well. He got all the way to top 8, which is really cool. Just that one-of deck. Broly, of course, everyone is expecting him to do really well, and Janemba, but Red Frieza also showed up in Pan, and some went kind of the loser of this event was Shenron. There were no Shenron Gogeta or Gogeta Shenrons in the top 32. The top 16, there are only 2 of them. One of them, and they're both kind of hand controls. It was a Maiden's version and just a pure hand control version. So very cool there. And so if we look at the top 16, we still have like this really big diversity of 6 leaders, and then even top 8, we have 4 leaders in the top 8, which is honestly really good, just because there's so much diversity. And even if we look at the top 4, there are 3 different leaders in the top 4, which is crazy, right? Like, that usually doesn't happen. And I think in general, even though we can all admit that Mill Janemba is probably deck number 1 right now, and Broly has a lot of options, nothing is completely undefeated, and there's just a lot of variety right now, which I think is really good. So there is that. Going into, I'm going to go just quickly shotgun the top 12 decks, I guess, that I have. All of these are in DBS decks, and also have links to all of the videos that My Wife Hates Games provided. There's that, and then also Crossworlds has done 2 interviews with 2 of the players, so I've also linked those videos. It's just, honestly, if you guys want information, you have it. If you just want the deck list, you have it too. That's what I really want this form to be. So let's get into it. So first is these. I'm going to move this over here so I have a bit of a cheat sheet for the name. So this is Augusto's Janemba Mill. Nothing too special. I would say like Janemba Mill is pretty solid. It's been I think the biggest thing for ratios, and one of the big things I've also seen with Storm, or with the new ban list and stuff, is the Childish Heart Janemba being kind of the forefront of it, just because it's able to get out the other Janembas, and it's really good in the mirror match. I think in general it's just a really solid deck. I don't really know what else to say more than that. Pilaf has been kind of a tech card for that, but generally it's just just the generic package of really good blue cards, having Janemba stuff, and stuff like that. Having 4 Reality Bender is pretty different than the Law list. Most people are kind of dropping down to 3 or 2, so it's cool to see at 4. And it might just be because they're also running Childish Heart. But yeah, seems very, very strong. Next up we have Casper Hansen's Brawly Swap deck. This is kind of like I made a similar deck profile to this. At least the idea of just getting the Victory Strike a couple weeks ago, and in general I think it's just a really strong archetype. A lot of people criticize if Victory Strike should actually be in here. Hayden Mastery, in my opinion, can finish off games most of the times. So that can just be just a bit of a bonus, but especially because he's also running 2 Mirror. Mirror can just be crazy, just being able to do double strike, essentially, because he's able to untap him twice, and he's uncomboable. You can't out-combo this guy realistically, so there's that. Some other interesting things. So he's running 2 Intrepid Dynasty Son Gohan. This is just for, he really wants to do the swap package into 3. He's not running Shugesh, instead he's running 4 of just these Jocos, so afraid of Cronoa. And a lot of people were running Cronoa this event. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, they had to put Cronoa somewhere, but they really didn't see that much Shugesh. So I guess that's good, right? I don't know what the best outcome is, so that's good. And also, I found it really interesting to see 3 Pachidol Dynasty Son Goten, and my guess is it's just to help Son Goku live. There are a lot of ways for people to kind of put in rest mode or just be able to attack it directly. So making it have, making this was it. I think it becomes a 15k combo against yellow battle cards. Just helps, really helps you keep this out and have it survive. So that's really good. And other than that, nothing too crazy. In the side deck, there are 3 Trunks Power Overseeing Time, and I'm guessing this is for the mill matchup, just so if something gets milled that you really need, you can get it, and that can be really good. Just even though it's a 2-cost search, but having that stuff in your mill against the mill matchup, I think is really good. And everything else is nothing too special from there. So let's move on to our next deck. So this is Sandy Caters. Shoutouts to Stage 0, I know he's in there, for playing his Janemba Mill. So he is a bit of more aggressive version than Gusto's. He's running 2 Hidden Power East Kai, which I think is cool, and then also he's opting for Vegeta instead of the Deadly Defender. And I mean, it's kind of, there are costs and benefits for both. Vegeta is really good because he gets, with 5 energy he gets bonuses, but you can't get him out to turn 4, and Vegeta comes out on turn 3. He's also running some Overwhelm stuff, which is cool, which is why he's running North Kai Keeping Watch instead of Saiyaman. Just so you can't, you don't have to be worried about sparking, which is good. Also, one unyielding Spirit Trunks for just some additional untap from energy. And I remember him saying he's running 3 of these, but he's got 1 in the side, right? Yeah, right there. So that's really good. And he says it's really good for the matchup, the mirror match. So that's why he's running 4. But he thinks that to kind of even it against other matchups, he's only running at 3. Other than that, so it was really interesting to see Force Ejection Mass Saiyan, and I saw a lot of people run this card, which I thought was interesting. It's for people who don't know, it's kind of like a Dende, but instead of being able to trigger for 3 energy, you play it for free, but it only works if your opponent goes first and they objection you. It doesn't work if you are going first and they objection you, because you'll still be at the same energy. There won't be a difference by 1. So there's that. But also, Mill Janemba can also just stop charging energy at 4, and so you can even do that. So and just because they're not afraid to, Sandy's not afraid to use Overwhelm cards, especially because he's running Supreme Kai of Time, Light's Guide, and stuff like that. Putting this in makes a lot of sense to me. And then the other thing, I think that's about it. I was surprised there was not a main board Mafuba, but he's got 2 in there. I'd be interested to see if that was the right choice, if he'd rather have had it in the main than the side, but having it in the side at least is really good. So moving on, we've got Dave Taylor's Pan mid-range deck. I literally just put this in. I was about to record and I didn't think this deck list was out, and then my wife Hates Games uploaded it like minutes ago, so shout outs to them. So this is kind of it really is just really like I'll say like a good red stuff, right? Pan's just a super good leader in the sense that she generates a lot of value, but can also be really defensive at the same time. And so we've got some Videls, some intensifying Trunks, and so we have the chain attack, and then also we have some Xenos in there. We also have some kind of neat cards. We've got like Ghost Attack, Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks. This can really end the game. And also Frieza's Army Reborn. So these are just kind of like two, like if you get to 5 energy, you have like a really good win condition, which is nice. And then also I really like the body change Ginyu tech. I've been seeing this a lot, and just the idea of like stealing like your opponent's Shenron or something like that seems really good. And when he comes out, he's a 25k 2 beater, even though he is 15k. You can abuse that, which is nice. Running 4 Fearless Pan is really cool, and only running 3 Double Shot Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta is interesting as well. I see a lot of people run 4 of this, especially because it's defense and draw. Like, it's the idea of like it's like the GT Goku's super combo, but you also get a body out, which is really good. But see that, and also 3 Foreseeing Hit. I always want to try to run 4 because I always want to drop home turn 4, but 3 seems to be the right number, and there's also just like a lot of cycle with Pan and stuff like that, so this deck looks really solid. And also 3 Time Patrol Trunks. They're running everybody's Power Yamcha, and so Time Patrol Trunks is an Earthling, and probably about half of these cards are Earthlings. Videl is, Trunks is, Yamcha is, Quick Trunks is, our Super Combo is, Pan is, Gohan is, Trunks again, and Go Tanks. So about half of there. And then also in the side they're running 4 Unending Awakenings. There are no counters in this deck. There are even no extra cards, which I just noticed, which is really interesting. So putting those on the side went really well, I guess, because I guess Heroic Duo Videl is a counter, right? So that's, even though it's not an extra card. And then 3 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, 2 Cronoa, an extra Zeno to probably help out the odds of seeing it. 3 Haru Haru. There are a lot of Haru Harus. I think a lot of people were afraid of Broly for this event, just because it was a really, it was the up and coming leader, and then also with the 3-drop Goku from the dash, or from like the power packs. I think a lot of people's fears were justified, but and I'm not sure how many people found or faced in this were able to beat because they're encountering them. But there's that, and then also like 2 Fu Shrouded Mystery. Love this card. It says like if you get to 6 energy, you win, and with such a like defensive grindy deck like this one, it's not really hard to do. And yeah, so that's a really cool deck, and not surprised it got top 4. So next up we've got Aaron's Broly Storm. So this is our second Broly. People thought Storm was dead, and obviously it's not. I'd say that a lot of the shenanigans that Storm used to do with energy manipulation aren't as frequent, but in general, probably Storm finishes probably a turn later, but it's still like super duper strong. And like the biggest thing for him, like he loves this mirror. Like he put 4 of this mirror in here, and 3 Hidden Power East Supreme Kai. Like if this attack goes off, and he's also running Battering, and he's got some in the side too. Like, since Broly can restand this guy and also give it double strike, like this guy can just like finish the game, no contention. You can't counter it. You can't with like Battering Laser, you won't be able to counter it. It has the flex, so you can't like crush a ball it. Like just really, really good. And I can see how that, like it's just like a win condition, and he ran 4 of it and went with it. So that's really cool. Pretty standard swap package. There's Videl's and Dependable Dynasty Son Goku's for the 2-drop instead of the Goten. Videl's really good against like Shenron decks because they really don't blow up stuff on turn 1 or 2, so being able to get like 2 drops from this is nice. And then just having like a 15k attacker that can also swap into like Power Charge Bardock can be really good. We've also got like 4 Gene and 4 Bardock Will of Iron, so no actual negates in this deck, but they just have a lot of blockers. Bardock's really great too, and we're running 3 Planet Vegeta, so we have a pretty good chance of having it restand, and also 3 Cold Bloodless because Broly's Frieza's army for movie reasons. We also are running 4 Master Roshi. Sorry, we are running negates, just not extra card negates. So other than that, also no Shugesh from this guy. So I'm not sure if no one was running Shugesh because they're afraid of Cronoas, or the people who were just getting hit by it. But we've got that. Everything else is okay. 2 Vegeta striving to be the best is I think a pretty good tech. I'd like to see also the 1-drop Frieza that puts something inside. I could see that like Goku striving to be the best could be like a hard counter to this, but still really cool deck. And let's go to Johnny Chow's Pan Mono Red. Okay, this deck is weird. All right, I'm gonna just say it out like. No disrespect to Johnny, but this is a super weird deck. Also Pan. He's running 4 intensifying power trunks. He's also running 4 quick rush trunks because he really wants to get that trunks out. We've also got he's also running like 1 Poi Poi and a Planet M2, so some kind of weird ratios in that regard. But also kind of has like the OG Pan stats. Like there's like Pride of Justice Topo. This card's really good for people who don't know it because it combos with Pan. It comes out when it negates and comes out, and then Pan can give it plus 5k, so then you get to draw a card with it, which is nice. Negates the attack, which is nice. And then there's that. And then also their side deck, so he ran 2 Fortune Teller Baba. Really good for when you combo with this card when it's in your battle area, you get to give something negative 5k, so really good for destroying stuff, which I think is cool. So really cool tech there. 2 Bodyguard Legics just because you can get it out for free. And then 4 Dendays and 3 Chronos. So he was really afraid of like some energy shenanigans and probably like Shenron Gogeta in a long sense, so there's that. And then also 4 Majin Twin Haru Haru too. So really scared of yellow decks. But once again, really cool deck, and happy it worked out for him. Next we've got the Michael Silks Vegeta Baby deck. Really love this deck. I wish it went to top 4, but I think if I remember correctly, he had a little bit of bad luck in his round 8, but really cool deck. Took advantage of the new Baby promo, which is nice. Has the entire chain, and then also has 4 Revenge Death Ball, which is super great card. Can be really powerful at like blowing stuff up on the defense, which is nice. 2 minus Kill Zone. I thought when I first saw this deck profile, I thought that was really weird, and I didn't really understand it. But since we're in a meta where like Cold Bloodlust is pretty much everywhere, right? Broly has the ability to do that, and being able to make sure that we can get our chain attacks out, or our first seeing hits, or whatever you need to, can be really powerful. So I think this is really great, and a really great tech discovery. And then also these 2 Preface of Recovery Son Goku seemed really weird, but I mean, you can get them from chain attacks, you get them for free. I would have liked, so I think this would make a lot more sense. I would have liked to see if there was more of a blue package, because with Preface and Zeno, and you can also maybe tech in some beans, that would be cool, but I think it's fine at 2. But I was a little bit curious about this one. It seems good, but it was a little weird in my opinion. And then also, so 2 Strategies of Universe 7, which is like a super duper like meta card, like card that's dropped off my radar for a while now. Really cool that he put this in here. All the Vegeta, all the baby Vegetas are Saiyans that are red, so they all get barrier, which is really great. You don't expect these guys to have barrier, and so because now that they do, it's really I think that's really cool. So they can't even Shugeshu with like they can't Shugesh explosive Goku or any other kind of blow up effects that you face. So that's really cool. 2 Deadly Defenders, 2 Dark Duo Deborah, 2 Terror Assault Frost, so really cool there. Just being able to get around Deadly Defenders and cheese some damage there as well. 2 Dendays, 2 Chronos, and also 3 Haru Haru. And once again, Haru Haru can be really good against this because with minus Kill Zone, just because if they try to Cold Bloodlust your Haru Haru, then you played this for 3 and then you can't untap, which is it just feels really bad. But with this, they can't do that, and I really commend him for that choice. So next up, we've got let's see, this is Nathan Mills Broly Veggies. All right, so this is so this is the Broly had like in the top 2 or in the top let's see. Yeah, okay, so there are 3 Brolys in the top 16, and they all ran different versions, which I think is really cool. So the Veggie package seems pretty, it's kind of like a really old archetype, but pretty much you have all these green veggies, you want to get Kaba out. Kaba is broken because you can find any, you look at the top 10, you get to summon any Khalifa, if you get this one, you can summon any of your Universe 7 off the top 7 with 1500 or less, so you can get either another Kaba, this one, or you can get this Kale, so that's really good. So it just like blows up your field for 2 energy. You can cheat it out with Shugesh. He ran 4, this madman, and he wasn't punished enough for it, so that's really good. Also, running 2 Explosive Spirits and Goku, and he's also, his deck is really weird too because it has 1 of every color, which I think is really cool. So he's running 2 Preface because Preface with Shugesh is like the OG broken untapped 2 combo, so that's really good. He's running 2 E Supreme Kai. He's only running 1 Mirror. argue that maybe running 2 would be really good. It's so good with Broly. Like just being able to like keep swinging with it. That's really good. He's running 4 time magic. He's only running 1 planet Vegeta, and it's because he doesn't have like a lot of yellow energy, and that makes makes a lot of sense to me. You probably want to run it with like you can put one of these cards, especially if like Shugesh is dead. You can charge it without as much consequence, and yeah, just a really cool deck. Side deck was really cool too. These 6-drop foos I thought were really interesting, just because this deck I would be really surprised if he got to turn 6, just because it's so aggressive. But he managed to get it out. There were games where he got it out and won because he pushed with it. So I thought that was really cool, interesting, and just a good tech choice there. Yeah, and then just in the side he has more of a yellow package, so he doesn't have a lot of yellow in the main, but my guess is that his Shugeshes are going to be dead, so it's easier to charge them on games 2 and 3. So yeah, and also he ran I think 4 Toki Tokis, and I think the reasoning was against Mill you can shuffle them back into your deck and fail to find, so you just build up your deck against Mill matchups, which I thought was really creative as well. So a really cool deck. Next up, we've got in the top 16, we've got first is Kai's Frieza swap. So pretty self-explanatory. Frieza swap is kind of makes itself for the first half of the deck. Some interesting choices: 3 Glory Obsessed Destructor Vegeta, or I don't even know it. Glory Obsessed Vegeta. This is really good because it can attack cards in active mode, and so this is good for getting rid of Goku striving to be the best and other annoying targets like that, so that was really good. And then there's also, he ran some Overwhelm with it, which I think is really good. This deck doesn't, besides After Image, nothing really depends on having stuff in your drop area, which is good. Also, 2 Chain Attack Trunks without having any way to evolve it, I thought was really interesting. Just because this card can attack things in active mode, that's kind of the thing people forget. But also then you get to summon something for free, so you can like play this, and then you can get like Frieza Storm of Blows for free, or you can get like Body Change Ginyu and go from there. And then also a little bit afraid of like Shenron Gogeta, so 3 Dende's there. And then in the side deck he's running Mass Saiyan the Mysterious Warrior, probably pretty good against like that Veggies deck, but just being able to have some field control and board sweep there was really nice. 4 Haru, time control, Kami, blah blah blah. Oh, also 2 Miraculous Comeback Ultimate Gohan. That card is really neat. It's one of my favorite cards from like set 1 and 2. I think it came on set 2. But it's a 6-drop with 25k. But if you have 3 or less cards, not including it in your hand, you can summon it for only 2 energy, and then when it KOs something, you deal 2 damage to your opponent. So it can be really good for, especially against a deck that has leans on blockers instead of negates. You can just drop this bad boy and try to swing for game because it does 2 damage, and generally these blockers are really weak, and they don't they don't have as much power as your leader. So being able to swing over those is really good. So yeah, and then also that's it for that one. So let's go into, I'm not sure, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but Dionysus. He's running this Maiden Dragon Ball Shenron deck. Really big fan of this. This seemed super duper cool. Love Maidens, love Shenron, love hand control. So really happy that this deck got to top 16. So running 4 Dragon Balls and 3 1-star just for that hand control engine, and then from there just a lot of mainly green is the color. Some Spirited Surge Super Saiyan Trunks. This can pretty much guarantee you Awaken on turn 2 if you need help with that. Only running 2 Child's Wish or World Peace, which is okay because Spirited Surge will find that for you. The new promo with Surprise Attack Frieza is really great just because it blows up something and it has critical, and it comes out or if you blow up something, it comes out for free. And you can do that with Double Impact Krillin. Great card. A lot of people are running stuff with Barrier, and so being able to drop this thing and blow up like a Striving Goku or something like that, I think is really strong. And then lastly, we've got there's just the Maiden Engine, we know that already. And also 2 Striving to be the best on Goku's, just for, you can't play this with actual energy, I guess, unless you charge one and then you play the other, but just being able to get this with Child's Wish, our Shenron Figure of Majesty, just to help you survive until you have your combo turn. So really cool there. The side deck was really interesting. So 1 of each Fu, Force Ejection Mass Saiyan, Blast Mass Saiyan, the Devastator was a really interesting choice just because it really is devastating in this deck. And so if you're in a matchup where they're playing a lot of Saiyans, just you can drop this and kind of steal a win from there. Which I think is really cool. Probably some Dragon Radar if you're playing kind of a more, I'm guessing, slower grindy match where you have to really find these desires. And then also 3 Dangerous Journey Bulma, pretty obviously against the Mill matchup, just because it pretty much negates one of their mills whenever you play it, so that's really good. And then 2 Hyperspeed Son Goku. Really interested about this card, because we don't really... I guess you don't really need Self-Awaken, but it becomes like a 30k crit, so I'm guessing that if you really need to give something like Triple Strike, that's really good. But Super 17, the Infernal Machine, is just like a great card to give triple attack, just because your opponent can't negate the attack. It's double strike, so you can do 6 damage, and just you can also like discard 2 cards, so your opponent has to discard 2 cards. Just really, really good there. So really like this deck. Let's see. Next, we've got Remco's Shenron hand control. So kind of a similar vein, but instead of green. This deck was really, really weird. Mostly because there's no negates. I'm not sure how he was able to survive against some of these more aggro matchups, but he got top 16, so he definitely knew what he was doing. So 4 Dragon Radars, which is crazy. I don't think I've seen 4, but and also 4 Child's Wish and 3 World Peace. So a lot of kind of extra cards, but he has like a lot of turn 1 plays with like time control. And I'm pretty sure like being able to just like slowly play 1-star ball, discard one of their cards, be able to plus from it, and then pretty much it looks like he just charges whatever he wants, and then cards get played simply from desires. I mean everything is like specific to cost or more, and so he has to like Cronoa and Shenron and Puranga are like the only cards he can play like verbatim, so I'd be really interested to see how like the charge play works with this deck. So very, very interesting. I wish I had a matchup with this one, but it is. I am also really curious how it did against more of the aggressive decks. It doesn't seem like it has anything that can really help it survive, especially since there's not. There's no blockers. The only blockers, this Ready to Strike Piccolo on the side, which I actually really like. I think this card is good, especially in hand control. It pretty much makes your opponent's hand side 6 at the end of their turn, which is cool. Yeah, so that was a really cool pick. And then also, I mean, Son Goku striving to be the best in the side, I guess works for defense, but yeah, I'd really like to see this play against an aggro deck, see how it works. So, and also Hone Moves Yamcha is really cool. You play it if you take a life, and then your opponent discards a card. So there's that. So, anyways, we've got our last deck that I have for the top 16 is Uzman's Janemba Mill. Nothing. Man, I don't want to be like lackluster, but so they're pretty much the generic Janemba build, 40 cards or so. He's going a little bit more aggressive because he's running the Champa and the at all costs, so there's that. He's going with Diddly Defender Vegeta instead of Vegito. Also, Yajirobe in the main is really nice, and also opting for Mafuba. So this kind of seems like in between the previous versions of Janemba Mill, where it's probably like not as aggressive but not as defensive, kind of like in that middle. And then the side deck is really interesting. 2 Xeno buttons and 2 Whis' Coercion, just for like extra. And Mafuba as well, so just a lot of defense in there, and then also ways to go more aggressive in the side. These Burst of Energy Super Saiyan Bardoks are really good. It's an Overwhelm 4 with 1 energy, and if you overwhelm it, this card can attack stuff in active mode and gains plus 10k, so it becomes a 30k trying to aim down for like Son Goku striving to be the best, or like the 3-drop Son Goku from the power booster. So it can be a really good way to get rid of a problem card. So really, I think that's a really cool tech choice there. They're also running, and that's why that is also why they're running Kai, just because they don't want to get their sparking mixed up. And yeah, so that's about it. So we've got 4 decks that I don't have: Oliver Hickey, Brad Hickey, Raul Falguira, and Blaine Perry. I don't know what their decks are. They're 2 Frieza swaps and 2 Janemba Mill decks. So if you want like 40 cards that they're running, I'd check this list. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I hope this is enough information for you guys. I spent like a lot of time organizing this, and that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.